So most people use AI agents the hard way. They paste the same instructions in every chat. They fix the same mistakes every time. But then there is a much simpler way, and it is called skill. And it's quickly becoming one of the most important things you need to learn to get the most out of your AI agent without blowing through your context window or your budget. Here is the problem, right? Your AI agent is so powerful, but it doesn't know how you work. Ask it to build a website. It doesn't know your brand colors, your layout style, your design system. Ask it to create a presentation. It doesn't know your format, your structure, how your company likes to tell a story. It gives you something generic every time, and you spend the next hour fixing it. Agent skills fix this. You teach the agent once your brand, your style, your rules, and it follows them automatically every time. And in anti-gravity, skills travel with your project. Anyone who opens it gets the knowledge instantly. Skills aren't really new. You have seen them in Claude Code, Cursor, Copilot, but most people haven't created one from scratch. And today, I'm going to show you how, step by step. Before we get into it, a quick disclaimer: all opinions are my own and do not belong to my employer. All right, let's get into it. So, what actually is a skill? A skill is an open standard for teaching your agent how to do a specific task. And the format is dead simple. It's a folder with this file called skill.md inside it. Now, that skill.md has two parts. First, at the top, name and description in YAML. This is the most important part. When you start a conversation, the agent will actually see this as a list of every skill available, just the names and description. If a skill looks relevant to your task, the agent will read the full instruction. If it doesn't, it will skip it completely. So if you write a bad description, the agent will never pick it up. Second, the instructions. How to approach the task, best practices to follow, conventions your team uses, examples of what good outputs look like. And you can include additional resources as well, right, in the same folder. So you can add scripts, examples, and additional resources. Scripts could be like helper scripts. Examples could be reference implementation. Resources could be templates and other assets. All of this can sit within that particular folder along with your skill.md. Skill.md is the only file you need. The agent can reference all of it. Now, where do skills live? Two places. First, inside your project, which is .agent / skills / right in your project directory. These travel with the project. You commit them to Git. When a teammate clones the repo, they get the skills automatically. Use this for anything specific to that particular project, your development process, your testing conventions, your API patterns. Second is your global directory. On Windows, it is C users, your name, and then .gemini, anti-gravity, and skills. On Mac, it'll be Gemini, anti-gravity, and skills. Now, these follow you, not the project. Every project you open in anti-gravity can actually discover global skills. So use this for personal tools, your favorite framework patterns, things you want available everywhere. That's it. A folder, a markdown file, a good description. That is what skill is all about. Now, let me show you what skills actually does. We will create one and we can see a before and an after. All right, so let's get into anti-gravity. So I'm in anti-gravity and I have started a new project, but there are no skills loaded. Now, what I'm going to do is ask it to create an executive dashboard. So I'm just using this as a sample use case. This dashboard should be interactive. It should have some basic KPIs such as revenue, customer growth, operating costs. And what we will see is anti-gravity is going to do its job and it's going to generate a dashboard which is going to be very generic in nature, right? Now, if you want to make that dashboard as per your company's theme and color scheme and all of that's where you will be doing a lot of interaction with anti-gravity. So for the moment here, I'm just going to open the implementation plan and check what it has mentioned. So for the moment, I'm just going to say proceed and we will see what it comes back with. So once we see this, then we are going to create a skill together where we will ask Antigravity to actually create the skill for us, but we will specify our company's theme, tone, etc. once, so that whenever we are creating something like this again, instead of we specifying all of those things in every conversation, Antigravity is just going to refer to that skill. So let's see what it comes back with without the skill. Then we create the skill and then we will give the exact same prompt and then we'll do a compare and contrast. All right. So we'll wait for it to come back in a sec. All right. So it was able to complete creating the web page. So this is what it was able to build. Not at all bad for the first go. We can see the image. Obviously, it has given a generic name, etc. But for the first go, it has done a wonderful job. You can see it's a little bit of an animation. But this is a bit more generic, right? And we have the opportunity to then go back to Antigravity and start telling it and guiding it that, hey, you know what, like I want something like this, or I want the name to be here. But you'll have to do this multiple times. So what I'm going to do now is going to ask Antigravity to create a skill, right? And my brand is AI with Surya. This is my aesthetic. So I'm going to ask it to create and then save the skill in this particular skills folder. So I'm actually using Antigravity's help in order to create a skill live here. So it is already doing its job, and you can see that it is starting to write and it has already completed the job. And this is the skill that it has written with AI with Surya brand. You must strictly adhere to all of these things, overall style. So now that we have got this, we're going to use the same prompt again. And now let's see what it comes back with. Okay. So we will give it a few seconds, and you can see that it has already started analyzing the skills.md because it has got skills now. And then based on the skills, it is going to create a different one now, and we will be able to compare and contrast. All right. So you can see that it says that I have reviewed the existing dashboard code. It already has some Glassformic elements, but uses incorrect color palette. I've created an implementation plan. Please review the plan as well. Again, it's going to modify this based on the skill. I'm just going to say proceed. And then once it comes back, we will see the difference, right? So right now it looks something like this. And once it has changed it, we will see the output here in a few seconds. All right. So it has completed the job. And you can see here, it is saying that I've updated the executive dashboard to follow the brand guidelines, deep black backgrounds, converted panels to Glassformic with proper blur. It has changed the color palette and some other things that I like. So you can see the difference over here, right? So obviously the color has completely changed. You can see a little bit of an animation here with some bright light reflecting. And even on the charts, the color seems to have changed. So this is exactly the kind of branding, if I were a company, I would have preferred. So now if someone needs to make another dashboard, or if someone else wants to use this project, the skill comes along with it because now we have created this particular skill. So that was the first example that I wanted to show. Let's look at another one. All right, so that was more of a visual example, but let me create a skill for an enterprise scenario. Let's say HR onboarding, right? So a new employee joins and they have a very specific question about a particular project. So instead of like them going through 50 pages of wiki document, they can just ask the agent. So for that, I'll create a new chat and I'm going to ask it to build me another skill, which is for onboarding new team members, include the tech stack, project structure, and how to get started, etc. And then I'm again asking it to save this skill in this particular folder. And I'm just going to use Antigravity's help to do that. So the idea is once you have done this, whenever a new team member joins, they can just have a conversation with the agent and the agent will be able to refer to the skill and give them the answers. And now you do not have to worry about if the information is accurate or not, right? So they've already created this. So let's just look at this really quickly. Description, as I'd mentioned before, right? So name of the skill and the description and the team onboarding guide, technology stack, front end, back end, project structure. Really good, right? Pull requests, security, etc. So very detailed and in a very small amount of time, but you can already see where I'm going with this, right? So you are able to basically ask Antigravity and also provide much more detail as part of the skill itself. And that way you're able to get those kind of really good responses. So let's say that there's a new person who has come in and they're asking this question. So, hey, I just joined this project. Where are the API routes and what do I need to know before making my first PR? Now, this is so interesting, right? If we do not have the skill, there's no way Antigravity is able to answer this question, right? But because we already have the skill, you can see what beautiful answer it has given. First of all, welcome to the team. Here is everything you need to know about the project. Where are the API routes? It's able to exactly tell it where it is and what to know before making the first request. And you're able to see all the details over here along with security guidelines, etc. The new hire didn't really need to even ask anyone and they're able to get right at it very quickly. And this is now possible using skills. You didn't even have to build like a rack-based project. Skills are able to do this for you. And this is super interesting. And that's why I said what I said in the beginning. These are the fastest, hottest skills for you to learn. No pun intended, but skills are the latest trend, which we all should be aware. So those were the two skills built from scratch with Antigravity's help. But then there are 900 community skills out there you can install right now. Agent skills is really an open standard, right? Same format works in Antigravity, Cloud Code, Cursor, GitHub. Build once and use it everywhere. Start with whatever you keep repeating. And if you're pasting the same thing in every new chat, that's a skill. Put it in a skills.md and stop repeating yourself. I hope this video was helpful. Please let me know in the comment section if you guys have any questions. And if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. And of course, if you like that video, please hit that like button as well. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.